we'll have this discussion.
Discussion? What discussion?
This is a discussion.
Combustion.
Coming to you from Denver, Colorado. This is Discussion Combustion Podcast with your hosts, Kevin Batstone and Arthur Raw.
The Summer Sizzle series rolls on as we have another chef joining us tonight. You've seen her on Hell's Kitchen Season 19. You've seen her on that YouTube channel, The Geeks and Grubs. Man, we got Mary Lou joining us tonight. It's going to be another fun one.
Absolutely. We're super excited. You already know she has a strong energy. And man, we're just going to get into it, talk the breeze or shoot the breeze. Feel, whatever it is, man, we're going to explore, learn each other, and really just – that's the fun about the podcast game, and is getting to know people on a personal level, because Kevin and I really like to open up the conversation here. It's not just all about your professional gig. It's more like what led you there. Like how do you keep moving and pushing on that? Like, that's what we want to hear. That's what we want to talk about. One company that will keep you moving, that is Wild Outdoor Adventures. Now, when you want to check out this beautiful state of Colorado, definitely go to WOAMEET.com.
That's right. It's a free and easy-to-use website. Head on over there and sign up. Check out all these great activities, guys. Summertime is here. It's hot. It's a great time to get up there and see the beautiful outdoors. Sign up for whatever works for you. They have a lot of different programs that might fit your needs. Hope for teens, hope for veterans, hope for singles. Maybe you like to do four-wheeling. Maybe you like to do shooting. Maybe you like to do backpacking. They have all these things on there free of charge, unless there's overnight equipment rentals, things of that nature. For the most part, guys, this is a product designed to really connect people, bring people together, and what a great way to do it than to see the beautiful Colorado wilderness. That's
absolutely correct. Make some friends, make some memories, and that is less dreaming and more exploring. Discussion Combustion is also brought to you by, that's going to be Mountain Made. I almost did WOA twice. Mountain Made. That is the place you got to go for CBD is mountainmadecbd.com for your active lifestyle CBD products.
That's it, man. mountainmadecbd.com. You'll see it right there, guys. Check it out. Promo code DCPC. This is the best way to explore Mountain Made. Maybe you're new to our show. You want to try some of the clearest, the purest, the most affordable CBD on the market. We'll go ahead and enter in promo code DCPC. Save 20% off your entire order. Now, these guys have really innovated the game of CBD. They've elevated their game. They've constantly try to improve the ingredients and the formulas and the way that these capsules are pressed together in this hemp formula. It's unreal what Mike and the guys at Mountain Made has been able to achieve. The build, the boost, the recover, the puff, the combat, the defense, CBD for your dogs, really everything across the board that you would need to fuel your life. The CBD you need to succeed is right there at Mountain Made.
Absolutely. If you're a dispensary, you're a business that can support CBD on your shelves, definitely check out Mountain Made. They got the best bang for the buck in the industry. We've seen them grow tremendously in the 2 years that we've been sponsored by this wonderful company, and we are so happy to see what they've accomplished and how they're continuing to grow and help people's lives. And so, yeah, definitely check it out. Helps in so many different ways. All you can do is give it a shot and feel good, and that is #GoLikeHell.
Go like hell, baby. Now let's jump into this thing, man. This is episode 109. Joining us via Zoom all the way from Tejas, Chef Mary Lou. How you getting on tonight?
Hi.
Such a pleasure to have you, man. Yeah, Kevin and I are excited. We've been talking to some great people, and we've been watching your stuff and checking out your YouTube channel, and of course, Hell's Kitchen. You put yourself out there. People can see your personality, and we got to say, you bring a strong energy to the table, and it's a lot of fun to watch what you do. I like the new Velma that you threw out there doing some cosplays while you cook.
You. Somebody had left a comment. They were like, "This is thick Velma," and I was like, "You know what? It is."
That is great.
I will say though, yeah, because we were kind of catching up on the new season there of the Geeks and Grubs, if I'm not mistaken. That's what it's called, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we were kind of tuning in on that, and I'll tell you this: I have a shellfish allergy, so I don't do a lot of crawfish eating, but it looks so delicious. I mean,
yeah.
The way you put it together looked fantastic. It made me want to break my allergy and just try and, go ahead and, what is it? Bite the head, suck tail. Is that how it works?
Yeah, that's exactly how it is. It's the way you bite the tail and you suck the head.
Okay.
We should know that.
Yeah, we got friends that are Cajun, and
we should have known that.
Yeah, we should have known that one.
We had some Raging Cajuns on episode 100 of the show, and when they signed it, they even said that.
They did sign it actually like that. Yeah,
on the proper way to eat a crawfish. They're like, this is what you need to know. So.
I've only had crawfish a handful of times. it's one of those things because you want to eat it while it's kind of still shelled, right? Like it's not like shrimp.
Yeah, you want to definitely like pop them out and take them open. A lot of the times it's because you don't get a lot of meat for all of your work. So a lot of people will just be like, I'll already take the one that is out of the tails, but it's the whole experience for me. Plus it's more flavorful that way. But for sure, my shoulders get tired before I get full. I'm just like, I'm done. This is it. My traps
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. It's like breaking into crab legs too. That's a lot of work, but it's the delicious meat within.
You can't eat that either.
I can't. No,
it's sad. He did try some shrimp years and years ago. He like just had one. And we didn't take you to the ER.
No, we didn't have to go that far. Every once and again, I'll roll the dice with the shellfish allergy, just because it's interesting with shellfish allergies, because it's not necessary. Because I eat clam chowder. I'm from New England. Scallops are a little bit rolling the dice, but it's like crab, lobster, crawdads, anything with that hard shell, bottom feeders, so to speak, seem to be an issue with a food allergy.
Because there's like mollusks and then there's crustaceans. So
that's right. Yep.
Yeah, crustaceans. It's like you can eat oysters and like mussels.
Yeah, those don't seem to be a problem. Growing up in New England, we used to do steamas, as we say with that New England accent. New England clam chowder. I love it. I can't get enough of it.
Yeah, you're allergic to crustaceans, so you can have mollusks. You're good.
See, she knows. I knew she would know.
Okay, I mean, you got to when you're cooking on the level, when you're on that level of cooking. So
one of my friends was there when we were shooting that episode, and he's allergic to shellfish. And so he was sitting down while we're shooting it. And I remember I was like chasing around with the crawfish. I'm like, just try it. Just try one bite. I just want to see what happens. And he's like, no.
So is it like a similar energy, like, or allergy to where if you like rub it on your skin, like your skin will get irritated too?
Yeah. Is it contact or is it ingestion?
I think that depends on the individual, because I've known people that have such a severe shellfish allergy they can't even touch it. I can definitely, I used to grab a lobster out of the tank up in New England. You get that fresh hitter up in the grocery stores there. You'd have to get, go in there and pull it out. I mean, that's New England living. That would never bother me. It's definitely eating it.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
Good stuff though, man. Some of the best seafood up there in New
Crab's
England.
One of my favorites. That's the shellfish that's still shellfish.
Crab is a shellfish.
Yeah, but it's not a fish. So
we just went over this, Arthur.
No, but sometimes I talk about this stuff and I'm like, I go into the meaning of why words are the way they are. Like, why are eggs vegetarian? Like, why are they vegetarian? They're like full of protein, and they would have grown into a chicken. And so I was talking to somebody about this actually, and they ended up telling me that those eggs that they used for cooking were never like fertile because there was no rooster around. And apparently when there's a rooster around, the chickens like produce these different hormones that make the eggs fertile, and they lay eggs regardless.
Oh, that's interesting. You taught me something today.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just learned something too, Art. I mean, first of all, are eggs really vegetarian though? I don't.
Yeah, they're classified as,
because they're not vegan, right? That's I think the big confusion is vegan to vegetarianism.
Yeah, they're not vegan at all.
Yeah, no, because anything that comes from an animal is anti-vegan, right? Or is they're staying clear away from that. And I noticed in the newest season, I've been watching a little bit of these Young Guns, Mary Lou. I don't know if you've been tuning into that, but there's a vegan chef on there, and I feel like, would that be difficult? Do you think to not necessarily to the touch, but to be able to prepare meats? That was my first thought. Like as a vegan, to prepare like a beef Wellington or something like that without having tasted it, I think that adds a level of difficulty. Or am I mistaken?
Oh no, it totally does, because it's like cooking something you're very unfamiliar with. It, you're kind of just winging it. And you're going off of things that you know. It's like, I know that if it's the right temperature, it's going to feel like this or it's going to look like this, but I don't know what it tastes like.
Yeah, that is true. So every cook kind of has a beginner story, like, where the roots come from. When did you know, like, how old were you when you realized that, this is one of your main passions in life, and that you had a skill set here, or was it something that you stumbled across it, and was it a necessity, and then you got good at it through necessity?
It's like, I wasn't good at anything. I just wasn't good at anything, but I liked to eat. And then later on, it just was like, hey, I would feed myself. And then I'd realize this could be a career. And then I just went all in after that. But I was like 16, 17. I really wish I had like an interesting story where it's like my grandma would cook with me every day and I learned all her recipes and I would make ramen noodles for myself all the time. My grandma would let me make breakfast. I made a mean fried bologna and egg sandwich. Like I started cooking in the kitchen because I would make food for my grandmother, but it wasn't like family recipes. We don't really have any family recipes. I taught my mom a bunch of recipes.
Well, so you're the book now. You're the family recipe maker. What would be the first recipe on that list? Is it the bologna sandwich that you're talking about, the mean one, or
the fried bologna and egg sandwich would be the very first recipe? And I'm like,
fried bologna and egg?
Making sure that you are cutting the inside of the bologna because it gets that dome whenever it cooks up. And I was
That's
like, no.
true.
So yes, delicious. One of my Grammy's favorites.
You could definitely do a throwback, like make that one super good, with all the current expertise that you have, and do a throwback one. That's actually kind of fun to think about.
I think so. It's real interesting, taking something that you had when you were younger that was just very simple and just like making it very elegant. You're like, yeah, I brought this back. This is my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And it's deconstructed. Here's a foam. Here's blah, 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 molecular gastronomy.
For sure.
Keeping it simple, but keep it delicious. That's what I like about it. It's got that old school root to it, real simple, good, tasty. Because you're from Texas, right, Mary Lou?
Yes, sir.
Down there in good old Tejas, one of my favorite states. I love that place. I might even live there pretty soon, to be honest with you.
Nice. If you have any questions, let me know.
Yeah, it just seems like a fun place. Every time I'm down there, I got good friends down there. It's so good. But Texas, I feel like, do you get into the barbecue stuff at all, or do you kind of stick to, what you like to do?
I don't barbecue, but I go out and I will eat other people's barbecue because, like I said, I like to eat, but I stay. I'm more inside of the kitchen. I'm not going to be outside on the barbie. It's hot out there. I don't want to be out there. I will walk out and like drink and talk to you while you're doing things. I'm like, what's that? You're going to flip that? That's cool. Why? Why can't I touch it now? And then I'll go inside and like, nah, it's hot. You have fun out here. That's not me.
Yeah, my girl is from Texas, and she tells stories about how she basically survived by just jumping from AC to AC. You come from the house, you jump out, get in the car, crank that AC, go into the restaurant because it gets hot there. I'm from Denver, so I'm used to the dry heat, no humidity. And I've been to a couple weddings down there, and it is brutal. Like,
face is all sticky.
Yeah.
I just went to Las Vegas like 4 days ago, and I got back at midnight on Monday. And as soon as I walked off the plane, like I just started sweating. My face was all sticky. I was like, oh, I forgot. I was in dry heat, so it was nice. And I'm in this wet humidity.
Yeah, from a dry heat to a wet heat. That's true. Because Vegas and Phoenix feel like it's that feeling like when you open a hot oven and then you just get hit with that wind of that hot air, in a 400-degree oven. But Texas, Louisiana, that's like that wet, sticky, you take a shower and then you're immediately sweating again, I feel like.
Yes. No, I just stay like your girlfriend said, AC to AC. That's where I'm at.
That's what I'm up to as well. I like to keep it cool, keep it crispy. But one thing I'm wondering is I just had it where to go. I'm gonna reel it back. It was this happens to the best of us, right?
You have a brain fart, Arthur?
Yeah. And I had several of those, and I have a story why. So at least I have that on deck. So I just came back from Napa, from wine country. I went out there for the 4th of July, which was a really good time. And my plane got home at like 9 p.m. 12 a.m. I got home at 2 a.m. I walked in the door, and then, grinded my normal job. We in here hustling. And yeah, so that's why the brain fart, but I did get it back. So you're not just a chef, like you're a creator, right? So you got the YouTube channel, you're pushing other things, like you're staying active. And I know you mentioned that you had like a teammate in there with the crawfish cooking. So I'm just curious, like behind the scenes, like are you helping direct, or do you help place cameras up and stuff? Like how active are you in the creation project on that channel?
It's really funny. So it's like My season 2 is going to be a lot different than season 1 because season 1 we didn't really know what we were doing and we were just playing around, and I was doing it in my friend's kitchen, and my one friend, he's a photographer and the other one is a videographer, and so we were all working together. And now I'm moving to a new place and I only actually still talk to one of them who does the videos with me. And so he came over and he just kind of like holds the video and he likes to direct things, but we've gotten to the point now where I start writing things down because season 1 I was just all in my mind and I'm like, all right, ready, we're gonna get together and we're gonna do this, just keep rolling. And I didn't even practice any of the recipes when we do the first one, and now it's become a lot easier because they're all planned out, so I'm a big part of it. But for the most part, when it comes to filming, they do all the filming. I got one friend who is editing, they're filming, and I'm just creating everything. We got our nice little team.
That makes it easy. It's always easier with the team, and I feel like that's why Kevin and I are pretty grateful, is because sometimes I'll forget what the hell I'm talking about, and then I can lean on him a little bit, or vice versa, or people cancel and stuff too. So it's like you can't always guarantee to have people show up to do the show, and that way you got somebody to lean on.
Takes a team.
Yeah, and the team's gonna make it grow tremendously. Like one person can only do so much.
Well, that's just it too. I mean, it's when you got people you can trust too. I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to content creation. You got to be comfortable and be able to trust the people that are around you. And I'm sure you can relate to that. Because these guys are doing editing, uploading, whatever their roles are. It's obviously people you got to trust, and okay, we vibe well together. You can be yourself around them because it looks like you have a really good time on your channel, which is fun. You get to goof around a little bit, but also still do something that's really cool and show people how to do great recipes. I love it. I think it's a really cool concept that's going to really catch on.
Thank you. I feel the same way. I like doing it. I have a lot of fun, and we have like our little blooper reel that we're working on. But whenever I make a mistake, I'm always just like, leave it in. It's funny.
Yes.
People see more human.
Power to that.
Yeah, leave the mistakes.
Leave the mistakes. Show some humanity.
Yeah.
Come on. We're not perfect.
We're not. And we talked about that with Cody last week, and kind of leaving those hiccups in there, and the realness that brings to the content that we create. We try to do that here. I mean, we half the time, Mary Lou, we don't even know what's going on here. We're drinking beer. We forget what the hell we're talking about. We're goofing off. But the realness that brings is an aspect that we've. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It's relatable. People like that. It's like, that's funny. I do that too.
Yeah.
Let it grow. Let it grow. You can't just be so buttoned up all the time in life. You got to be, you got to be like, let yourself have fun. And so you can't always take everything so seriously. And I feel like that's one thing you do well, because, you like with your intros, you're like super hyped up, you're into the energy, and you're like doing things that are fun and good energy. And it's like, why take life so seriously? And especially if you're enjoying the project, if you're having fun doing the work and doing the project, like, what's holding that back? And I feel like a lot of people, myself included, like I've held myself back in a lot of ways, overthink things, overanalyze things. And sometimes you just gotta go with the flow, go down the river a little bit.
I agree. 100%.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that come at us. It's an interesting time with social media and the way that everybody has opinions about, oh, you should do this and you should have this person on, or you should try that. To be able to find something you're comfortable doing, and enjoy doing it, I think is like that's the closest you can get to a sense of enlightenment, of enjoying your time, So that's my goal in life.
Yeah. So do you ever take your dog to dog parks, or like, what is your routine? Because everybody that has an animal should be healthy with their animal and make sure that their animal is doing well. So do you like get up in the morning, take the dog for a walk? Are you prepping custom meals for your dogs? For your dog, I mean? I
really wish that I could answer that in like the most glorious of ways, but whenever I do wake up, I just take them outside and I just bring them back in. They're both inside dogs now because they just.
Okay, you got a couple.
Yes, and I recently just got them back. So I've had my dogs for maybe about 3 years, but they were my ex and my dogs. So when we broke up, I had them for 1 year and he had them for 2 years, and now they're back with me for the next couple of months. And it's like getting back into the swing of things of having the dogs. It's making sure that, hey, I have to. When we're at this amount of food, I need to make sure to go get more. I have to make sure to give myself an extra like 25 minutes through the day or in the morning, because I have to take them downstairs and walk them, because somebody doesn't like to take poops when she needs to. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we do this every morning. Why are we walking for an extra 15 minutes? I don't take them to any dog parks because I don't trust my small one. He's a hoe.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just a hoe in every sense of the word.
So is the small one, what kind of dog is the small one?
The small one, he is a Shar-Pei and a Pomeranian. Oh, sorry, he is a Chow and a Pomeranian mix.
So how big is that dog? Because I know Chows are bigger, right?
They're like medium, I feel
And
like.
then Pomeranians are small.
Here, I'll grab him. Come here. Come here,
So it's like a medium.
he's like a medium size
Live
dog.
action dog here. Love it.
Aw. There he is.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I can see the chow in his face already.
He's medium.
So
Okay.
so that boy is ripe, and whenever it's around, and it's always the season. Because I worked at a doggy daycare for longer than I should have. It was one of my favorite jobs though ever. So I worked there for a long time, and the owners were really good, and I loved working with the animals. And so one thing that I really learned with all that was that dogs totally feel your energy. Like your energy is going to either make or break the entire energy of, like, these 30 dogs in a pit together, and it could go crazy. And so, like, if you're stressed out and you don't think that you got it under control, then you definitely don't have it under control, and those dogs are going to run the yard. And so it was just interesting. Like, it was kind of fun because I've been there for a while. I've been tested. I learned how to control my energy better. And that was one of the biggest benefits of working with animals was, realizing how that energy affects things. And that bleeds into humanity too. Like how we hold our energy and how we carry ourselves, that carries into a room, and people could feel that. But it would be funny because we get a new hire, and then they would all come in the yard. I'll be standing in the corner, like, holding back. And then the dogs would all just be jumping around the new person, and just working with like 30 to 40 animals in the yard at once. If it wasn't for the little spray, like, little like, shade, knock that off. Like, it would be so hard to control. It really would.
Animals are rowdy, brother. They get rowdy, but they ground you. They teach you a little bit about yourself. I mean, they say a canine's a man's best friend. I don't have any dogs, but I have a cat, and he makes my eyes itch. So that's about the only benefit I get from that.
I didn't expect you to make that turn. I liked it.
Yeah, animals are fun. They're a nice companion, but they're a lot of work, because that's the thing too. Especially when you're busy, you're traveling, you're doing a lot of stuff. It's hard to get all those things in line. That's why I have a fish. Fish are easy.
You have a cat and a fish.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I'm animalless, but I do have a would you rather for you. So going with the theme of your YouTube channel, with the geeks part of the theme, right? So I'm assuming you're into some of the sci-fi stuff, some of the Star Wars, maybe Game of Thrones type of things.
Yeah, I'm really big into Game of Thrones.
Okay, well that may answer the question, but I was gonna say, if you could only pick one sci-fi like genre or story, like, what, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter. Yeah, favorite sci-fi genre ever. Which one is it going to be?
Okay. That's good. That was a good question. You had me. I was going to totally say Game of Thrones, but then you threw Harry Potter in there, and that's my life. So we're going to just Harry Potter all day. I am a wizard. You're a wizard, Mary.
Yeah. Did you read the books too, or were you just a film watcher? Or?
No, I read all of the books. I've seen all of the movies. I have all the audiobooks, and I end up re-listening to them pretty freaking often, especially if I'm doing like a long drive somewhere. I'm all like, Harry Potter audiobook number 4. Number 4 is my favorite.
Is it?
Yes, I have a wand. I keep it under my bed. I went to Universal Studios a couple of years ago and went to Ollivander's wand shop, and he was like, you come forward. And I turned around, I flicked all my friends off, and I was like, yeah, motherfuckers, they picked me. Y'all remember those old muggle ass over there? And it's like, please, thank you, sir. So I'm really big into Harry Potter.
That's awesome. So I'll straight up admit it. I didn't watch all the films, but I thought they were very well done. What I did see,
I'm done with you.
Yeah, sorry, I'm got to be honest. And my mom read some of the books, but how the books are always different from the film, right? The rendition. Right. So, are the books way better? Because that's normally the case.
Yes, the books are way better, but they did a good job capturing all of it. I think what was it, the Percy Jackson series. So I'd read all that book and then I watched the movies, and those movies are garbage. I was like, I hate this. I hate every part of it. But the Harry Potter books, they do their best, especially because like 1, 2, and 3, they're like this big, and then you hit 4 and they're like, bam, now we got content. How do you put all that in a movie? And that's before everybody started breaking up movies into part 1, 2, and 3, you know?
That's true. That is
I'm
true.
like,
Yeah.
book 4, book 5, book 6, they all should have been 2 movies. I was like,
Yeah.
this is a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things, because it gets tricky. Like, and that's how I guess Marvel is the one who is doing it, who made it normalized, where you could tell a story between 22 movies or something now. You know,
Yeah.
so it would be interesting to see how much more detailed movies get in the future. And I was wondering too, like, do comic books like Marvel and DC, does that stuff count as sci-fi, or is that just comics?
I think it's just a different fandom. Like you can just classify all of it under like fandom as an umbrella, and then you have like sci-fi, and then honestly, I think it all would classify as sci-fi. It's all like a different type of fiction.
Yeah, fiction, nonfiction. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You know, and then depending on what you believe, some people might believe that the fiction is nonfiction and vice versa. So, but as far as like the different parts, let's talk about Fast and the Furious for a minute. I mean, they just launched the 9th edition of it, and people love it. They absolutely love it. 9 movies, and people want more. I haven't seen it. I haven't watched it yet, but you know, props to Vin Diesel and those guys. They're obviously doing well.
I just I'm not too sure, like, because in the beginning, like, you know, the first one was badass.
Oh, the first one was great.
You know, obviously that's the roots right there. That's the fried bologna egg cheese sandwich. You know, do you throw cheese on that too? I'm wondering.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Just
Okay.
Kraft singles.
Kraft
there it is.
singles, the original American classic.
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah, but the memes have been cracking me up, like the Vin Diesel memes about
family?
You know, you can't defeat like, it's like,
Have you seen those, Mary Lou? The family memes that are going berserk right now?
I wasn't understanding it. And I'm like, what's going on? Why do I keep seeing all these Vin Diesel memes? So I'm really glad you've explained it for me. It's like when WandaVision came out and I hadn't watched it yet, and I kept seeing all those like Vision memes. And I was like, why is Vision in a do-rag and a chain? What's going on?
Yeah, it's amazing, the whole meme game, and just how quickly the internet goes berserk with it, and everybody has their own take on it. Like we even got involved with that with the Bernie Sanders one. You know, with Bernie Sanders with his mittens on, we even played around with that, because that just, I mean, it went so viral so quick. And I've never been a real tech savvy, like up to whatever that term would be. You know, hip. I'm not hip, Mary Lou. I'm not. I have no idea what's going on. I try to stay up with what's going on, but it's a struggle. It's a struggle.
It is. Sometimes I feel cool when I learn, you know, that's how you could tell I'm aging, like that my age is starting to show, because I feel cool when I like learn the new stuff. I'm always on Reddit. I'm always scrolling Reddit and, you know, trying to figure out like the new phrases, and then I'll use them amongst my peers, and they don't know what I'm talking about. So I know I'm using the right ones, but I'm never presented with an opportunity to actually use these with the younger generation, unless it would be on here.
Get Urban Dictionary and they give you like a word or phrase of the day. I love that shit. And you're like, all right, I'm ready.
Did you pull one up today?
No, I don't really use it as much anymore, but I used to love when it would come up and tell me what the word of the day was. So whenever something, I'll hear a song or something, and it's like a phrase I don't know, I'm like, Urban Dictionary. What is this? Oh, that's true. All right. And then I'll be using it to my friends. I'm like, you don't know what that is? You're the program.
And that becomes the word of the day. We usually do a word of the week segment on our show. That's, you know, guest submissions and stuff. But, you know, once again,
where are you at, people? Did they send them in?
Yeah, they probably did. But honestly, I didn't look at them. So we didn't pull one up in time. So the word of the week this week could just be whatever you want it to be, Mary Lou.
Kerfrumful.
What the hell is that?
Like kerfluffle? Is that what you're trying to say?
Kerfuffle? Kerfrumful? Maybe I'm saying it wrong. It sounds like you know what that one means. It's kind of like a
it's a situation.
Yeah, situation. It's
an unpleasant situation.
Yeah, like a big mismatch, big mess.
You just came out with that out of the blue?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
I don't know. What do you think, Mary Lou? Do you got any good words for us?
Kerfluffle? There's one word that I heard yesterday, and it was like an Italian dish, and I could have swore my friend made it up, and I can't remember what it is. It's like spaduti? Dang it. I'm going to remember in the middle of like one of our conversations, and I'm going to disrupt you. But one of my favorite words is omphaloskepsis.
Whoa.
Yeah, never use it in a sentence ever. It means naval contemplation, so I'll never use it. But
omphalo
skepsis.
skepsis,
Spondyloskepsis.
naval contemplation. And the navel's a belly button, right?
I feel like it could go either way, like you can do belly button or you can do like the Navy. Because they're both spelled the same. So I didn't know. I'm like, naval contemplation.
Huh.
So it could be either nautical or a little bit related to the belly button.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Wow.
The belly button is interesting. Let me talk about this a little bit right now.
And here we go.
Because I hadn't really, had the opportunity. So you got innies, you got outies. You got ones that are twisty, you have ones that are star-shaped. Like,
Okay.
Is it based upon how like the surgeon is cutting the umbilical cord, or like what's going on? Why is there so many variations of belly button if it's part of a surgical task?
I think that it's like where they're cutting the actual umbilical cord. Maybe they didn't cut it far enough. Or what if they like twisted and then cut? What if it was a spin cut? What if they're like, no, just tie a rubber band around it. I want it to fall off naturally. That's how, in my mind,
I want it to fall off naturally.
belly button. Well, my surgeon, he goes really close to the actual belly button when he cut the cord off. So that's why she has such a deep innie. That's it.
Okay.
That's definitely some food for thought for the week, because everybody's navel is a little bit different. I really didn't think I was going to be talking about belly buttons on this program, but you just never know what's going to happen.
Wait, so what was the word again? Because we're definitely doing that right now.
Yeah, what was the word again, Mary Lou?
Omphaloskepsis.
We're definitely umphaloskepsis right now.
Oh, and the word was kafluti. Kafluti. My friend told me about it yesterday. He's like, yeah, I used to work at this Italian restaurant and we would make this kafluti. And I was like, you just made that shit up right now. And he goes, no, it's a real dish. No, it's not.
Can we guess what the dish is before you tell us?
Yes.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, what do you think that is?
I have no idea what it is. Because here's the thing. I'll tell you this. I come from a lot of like Polish cooking. So I'm used to things like kapusta, guamkis, a lot of cabbage and kraut. So I know what that type of shit means.
Yeah. Could you give us a hint and tell us what cuisine was served at that restaurant? What kind?
At his restaurant, this one was Italian.
Okay.
So it's Italian. Okay.
So I'm gonna say that is it a type of noodle dish? Is it
a type of noodle?
Okay.
That was your guess?
Well, that was I kafluti. Like I thought that might be a type of noodle. Kafluti. Is it a dessert?
It is a dessert.
Okay.
See, and I was going to go that route because I was thinking cannoli. Italian dessert would be a cannoli. So
you got this, Kev.
I don't think I do, but I'm going to try to bullshit my way through it. It's some sort of Italian pastry, I feel like.
It is indeed an Italian pastry.
Okay.
I had to pull it up after he told me because I swore he was like making shit up. And I was like, oh shit. Because we were talking about oils, like infused oils, and he would make like a clove and allspice oil. And I'm like, where did that go on? On a kafluti. It's like, if you don't want to tell me, you don't have to. You don't need to make up words. No. It's like with like dried fruits and shit.
Oh, that sounds good. I had when I was in Napa, we went out and celebrated my girlfriend's sister's birthday, and we were at a nice restaurant, and they brought this really, really delicious strawberry, like with the strawberries with whipped cream, ice cream, and like a biscuit. I'm forgetting what that dish is called.
Strawberries, ice cream, and a biscuit?
Shortcake.
Oh, it's like a strawberry shortcake?
Yeah, it was
like Asian food cake.
Yeah, but it was so good that we had to order it twice. Like normally we just get one and split it all, but we had to get it twice. It was so good.
I feel like there should have been a title to this dish.
Well, isn't that a strawberry shortcake? Like it's like
is that what you ordered?
Yeah, because it was whipped cream, and strawberries. Like yeah, but it was a biscuit instead of pound cake. It was like a really good fluffy.
So then it's not strawberry
biscuit.
Shortcake. It's something else, Arthur.
I think it's a strawberry shortcake. It's like a different interpretation.
Fair enough.
It was really good, and that's something that is fun with food. You have a good dessert, but one of my favorite things to do, you have a cocktail to start. You get your entree, your appetizers all in, but then you have the nice robust cup of coffee at the end of dinner. Now, is that something you? Yeah.
Yes, I love a cup of coffee at the end of the day. I love coffee no matter what, but just know that I'm either going to get a carajillo which is like a coffee-based drink, or I'm going to get a cappuccino. I was like, I want either of those. And I think it's just because I like the experience. I am that like consumer when you go to a restaurant and you can just like sell me anything. Man, we have this today. Would you like one? And I'm like, yeah, I would. My glass is half empty. Do you want another one? Yeah, I would like another one. This is my favorite appetizer. You should get it. Okay. I'm that person every time.
Okay.
Like, just nodding. Yeah, keep going. Ma'am, do you want a coffee?
What was the first coffee drink that you said there?
A Carajillo.
I have never heard of that before.
I went on like a spree of Carajillos maybe about like 6 months ago, and I got this espresso machine. So you get espresso and you get liquor 43, and you take the liquor 43 and you light it on fire, and you just kind of like twirl it around the glass. And what it does is it caramelizes the sugars inside of the liquor 43. Then you put that over ice and you just shake the shit out of it with some espresso, and it starts to foam up, and then like the residual ice in there starts to melt, and you pour it, and then there's your drink.
So it's like a liqueur 43. It's non-alcoholic.
Oh no, there's alcohol in it. Here, I'll go get it for you right now. I got like 4 bottles.
Yeah, let's take a
Okay,
look
yeah,
at that.
that's definitely interesting.
We're always learning stuff, man. That's what's great about it.
Yeah,
We were talking earlier about calling the liquor store, and I wanted to know if you had like 750 milligrams. It's because I mean milliliters, because they keep giving me these tiny ones, and I'm like, you ain't got the bigger ones?
Okay.
43.
I've never seen that before.
So you get your fresh ground, you do an espresso, you put that on, you light it on fire.
Yeah,
And
you like
then
this one on fire, not the espresso.
yeah, correct. Oh wait, so you put that on fire before you put it in?
Yes. 'Cause it
Oh,
gets
okay.
the sugars out, and then after that, you just shake the fuck out of it, and I love it.
Wow, that does sound pretty adventurous. I need to try something like that. I feel like
My best friend and I were making Carajillos every night for about a good 2 months. I
Okay,
don't know.
so it's an evening drink then. It's not like this would be a great after dinner coffee because it keeps the night going a little bit.
Yes, but let's not put a label on when to drink the alcohol. You know what? You can have it for breakfast, you can have it for lunch, you can have it before you go to bed as a nightcap. I mean, there's coffee in it, so it's like in the morning, but also like it's a sweeter drink, so it's dessert. Who really knows? I like
Okay.
it time.
Okay, so I want to start a new game. I'm going to take the first guess and take the advantage here. Kevin and I are going to guess what your favorite type of liquor is. I'm taking first guess. I might be wrong. I'm going to go with tequila. Kevin.
okay. First of all, that was going to be my first guess, but so now I got to go. Oh, man, what kind of game you starting over here, Arthur? That's the thing. Favorite liquor. I mean, you're talking the big hitters, right? You got vodka, tequila, whiskey, scotch. You took tequila off the table.
Yeah, Mary Lou, what's her liquor energy right now, man? That's what we're trying to.
That's a liquor energy. That's good.
I think I'll take, because I'm a whiskey guy. Whiskey would be my number one. You already took tequila. I'm going to go with vodka. That's what I'll guess.
Okay, so I think I've never really thought of like what my favorite is. What I use all the time is going to be cognac. I drink a lot of Hennessy.
Okay.
So a little bit of
But
higher
whenever I
end.
go out and I party with my friends and I want like all of this, yeah, I'm drinking tequila.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you should have said whiskey because that's kind of a cognac.
Well, whiskey is
right?
like a higher end or cognac is a high end whiskey.
Okay.
I feel like.
Yeah.
But most of the time I'm drinking like Prosecco and champagne. Like 9 times out of 10, I get home from work and I'll end up drinking some. Lately, I've been like at my restaurant, I'll close. And I was like, oh, I'm closing. I can't drink this bottle before I go to work. So now I don't know what to do because I don't drink it before bed, and then I drink it before bed.
Hey,
it happens.
Hey, as long as you wake up and got the that's why you're drinking out of their coffee. Get you going. You bite the hair of the dog and you keep it moving.
Yes.
Shit.
You keep rolling that ball.
That's it.
So I have I have like a phobia. A phobia would you rather?
Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
So if you had to pick between being trapped in a cave or being trapped in an elevator, let's say the elevator is one of those exterior building elevators with glass and you're way high up, right? So it's one of those elevators, you're stuck way high up and you can see it, or you're stuck in a cave, which, could be very dark. Of course, there is safety coming. You will get saved within 7 days. But are you choosing being trapped in the cave, or are or are you trapped in an elevator way high up?
Okay, I was gonna choose elevator, but I gotta be there for 7 days. Then I have to go ahead and choose the cave, even though I feel like that is the most terrifying because I don't know what's in that cave. But at least I could try to find some type of vegetation or something to eat. Is there water in there? Because I won't make it. If I'm just die eventually,
I won't make
I'm not gonna make it 7 days. I'll be in the elevator. Yeah. Is there air conditioning in the elevator? Are there snacks?
Let's say that you are a prepared person. You just happen to have a backpack prepared for a busy day. So you can make it through the 7 days, but now I'm thinking about other things. Now I'm thinking about other pieces of this. Like, you're in an elevator. You can only use the restroom in so many areas. Like in the cave, hopefully that's going to be bigger. But then can you see in the cave?
No.
Maybe you're prepared and have a lighter.
All right, the cave. Give me the cave. I will find it where I need to. And then hopefully I can just be so terrified that I just scare myself to sleep for 7 days.
I think the cave's gonna be the best choice here because elevators already made me a little bit nervous. I got to take one to get up here. Being trapped in one of those for 7 days, I don't think I could do it. And the cave, you're right. You got more resources. Maybe you have a chance of food. There's a little bit of vegetation there. You got water. There's other possibilities. And like you said, you got to do restroom activities.
Yeah.
So that's better fit in the cave.
Yeah.
And so animals in there, what if I befriend them and then next thing you know, it's myself and Mama Wolf and we've learned to grow together. And now I have a great story to tell. And you know what? I don't even want to go back to civilization anymore because I found something else that brings me more joy. You never know.
You walk out of the cave a brand new woman,
That
sound
for the better that day.
That does sound good.
Yeah.
So now I'm kind of thinking about what kind of rinky dink elevator service, is going to be stuck for that long without service for 7 days. So it's on a construction site.
There's been movies about it.
It's on a construction site.
There has to have been a movie done about it already, I feel like.
Yeah, something happened on a construction site. They're using another elevator. Something like that.
Yeah, who knows?
Something like that. So a quick call back to earlier what we were talking about Harry Potter and all that. So I'm really into Star Wars. I like to get into the lore, the stories of the universe and really dive into, this part and that part. So does Harry Potter have that where there's more beyond the story in the same universe, or is it all about Harry? Or can you explore more?
So much going on. First of all, on YouTube, I follow Harry Potter folklore, and this man goes into all of it. But J.K. Rowling is a certified genius, and everything that she has done from the Fantastical Beasts movie all the way up to the actual Harry Potter series, because Fantastic Beasts starts out 80 years before Harry Potter. She thought this stuff through. There is more.
And it's in the same universe.
Yes, they're in the same universe.
Okay.
Really far before. It's when Dumbledore was a sprightly lad. So, you learn about him and what he's doing, and then you get to see the rise of Voldemort and what is it that Voldemort actually is. And she did her research first of all, and she just does a great job because she develops the side characters and what their back history looks like, and then there are also different books that she has off of the different characters.
Okay.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
so that
is brilliant. If I could meet that woman, I swear to God.
I bet you could. Have you sent her an invite? Have you tried to get in touch with her booking agent?
No, I've never thought of it. She terrifies me.
Really?
I'm I wouldn't know what to do. I'd see her and I'd be thank you.
Do you feel like that would be the starstruck level, of scale 1 to 10? Would that be the 10 starstruck level for you?
Oh yeah, I'd definitely be 10 starstruck to meet J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling and Rihanna. I just
And Rihanna?
Oh yeah, Rihanna.
Rihanna's up there too, huh?
The Riri.
Come on, Riri. She wants me to go broke. I keep buying everything that she puts out. I'm dang it.
She puts out some pricey stuff too. That's no joke.
Exactly.
You want to live like that, you better have the coin.
You tell him. I'm how much gas do I really need? Because she just dropped 2 new lipsticks and I want both of them. So,
How much gas?
It's risk reward, What are we going to do here? It's compromise.
I'm yeah, my car's $1,000, but I look good. Somebody gonna come help me.
That's good stuff. Well,
you go.
So I got to do it because I've done it now. The Summer Sizzle series, Mary Lou, that's what we're naming this because we've had some great chefs on here over the past couple of weeks. We had Corey on, we had Cody last week, and now you. And I'm going to ask the same question I've asked all of them. So we're doing a competition here in Denver with another podcast, and we are in a position. It's a sandwich battle. So here's the thing, though, is nobody's going to taste it. There's no judges. It has to be strictly visual.
Anonymous submissions.
Anonymous submissions. So you're not going to know, okay, that they made this, that. It's going to have to be. We're going to present something on an anonymous vote. A sandwich that has to compete against another podcast here in Denver. What do you think? What is your recommendation for us? Because I'm compiling all this information and really picking everyone's brain. What would you make for a visually presentable sandwich?
That's going to take the title.
That's going to win.
Take the title. First of all, I am a sucker for a steak sandwich. Like, oh my gosh, don't put it in front of me because I'm going to eat everybody every single time. So definitely we're throwing out a steak sandwich. Let's put it in some French bread, something that can like sit open. So when you're taking the picture, it's like, like it's looking at you. We can throw some pickled onions in there and we can easily pickle them in 2 different ways. That way you got different colors. So people are like, ooh, what's that in there? But also, you got those crunchy bites. Let's hit it with some arugula with like a little bit of lemon juice and pepper. And let's use different color pepper. Come on, let's use pink and black pepper.
Oh, look at you.
Like speckles. I do a little something. Man, we'll do some Boursin cheese. I love Boursin. I honestly don't know if it's real cheese, but I don't care because I like the way it tastes. And like the garlic and herb one has like all the little speckles in it. And then just some tomatoes. Just a nice bright pink steak, like hard sear, so you're seeing brown and pink all around it. Yeah.
So is this a hot sandwich?
No, the steak itself is like warm, but the rest of it is cold, and like the bread can be like room temperature.
Okay.
You just it's all kind of like crumbling up just a little bit. Oh man, when the bread's not super hard, so it doesn't cut the roof of your mouth, but you still get.
You can't have that. You can't have when the bread comes out like that, it's always kind of disappointing. But I didn't eat that much food before we started recording tonight, and that sounds fantastic.
That sounds delicious.
So maybe to win this, we also put a side next to it, throw a curveball in there. It's a sandwich with the side. What's the side gonna be on that delicious steak sandwich?
What's the side to go with?
I'm all salivating.
You've got to. I have to have my own, like just make some house-made kettle chips because then you want that extra crunch that's going through. But something that's not going to compete and compare with it. I was going to say salt and vinegar, but honestly, that's just because I love salt and vinegar. But let's make some jalapeno ones. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I think you just hit the nail on the head there.
Okay, so we were recommended last week. What was the sandwich?
Cody recommended we did something very bright. His recommendation was we had a very, very good background to put the sandwich with.
Yes, that was his key point.
Focus on the ambiance around the sandwich. Mm-hmm. Corey recommended that we did
BLT.
A BLT.
Yeah, BLT.
Yep. So we're going to compile all this information, and I think with the help of you guys, we're going to win this damn competition.
It's going to be so good.
But the thing is that the pressure's on. What are we going to do? Because we're compiling all this information, and every week it's like, oh, that sounds so good. That's what we got to go with.
We take the best pieces from all the advice, and then really build it together. So then we got the best. I like how you said, have it open and you painted that picture, and also the color contrast. Like that's something we haven't heard, and that really does appeal to the intrigue on biting into this dish. Like, oh yeah, that looks good with it. What's that? What is that? Like, what is this flavor I'm getting at? And the complexity to I'm starting to salivate, and like it's getting in the way of me talking right now. Thinking about,
I want to kind of like wrestle with it a little bit. Like I gotta like grip it and like hold it down. Like, all right, we're going in now.
Yeah, that's how when you gotta control that thing like it's a wild, boa constrictor.
Exactly.
Yeah. You got to show that thing who's boss. There's a lot going on. There is a lot going on. A good sandwich. Now, I'm going to piggyback off that. Do you like a chips in your sandwich? Because we talk about salt and vinegar chips are my favorite. Do you throw that crunch on your sandwich?
I love chips in my sandwich. I had made the mistake once when I was like in school, and I'd pre-stuffed the chips in my sandwich so that when I would eat my lunch, they'd be in there. I did not think that they would get soggy, and they did. It was the worst decision I'd ever make. And I was like, okay, you stuff a couple, you eat a couple bites, then you stuff, and then you go. Don't pre-stuff. It's not worth it.
Yeah. I could see that disappointment being immeasurable, because you're like saving it. You're like, I did it right today. I got it prepped. It's ready to crunch. And then all of a sudden you go in there with the the sandwich wrangle, got to wrangle the sandwich, and it's just not hitting. So with the super messy sandwiches, like I like the ingredients to be plentiful. I really like a lot of lettuce. Do you put lettuce on a steak sandwich?
Oh yeah, I'm hitting mine with arugula because it's like
Oh,
peppery.
you said that. Yeah, you said arugula. Yeah.
Arugula and lemon juice. I don't know what magic happens, but I'm so blessed that it does. And I'm like, stuff it with arugula because I fucking love lettuce.
That arugula, man, that'll set off a sandwich right there. I feel like he's right. It's got so much bite. Oh yeah, man. We should have ate before we did this podcast. I feel like because all these ideas are making me a little.
I know,
hungry.
man. I need sandwich. We need sandwich hour up in here, man.
We'll probably order a sandwich when we get done here. But bringing it back to the cooking aspect, Mary Lou, what's your favorite dish to prepare? Not something that's like, okay, here's a competition. You got to make this, and that, and the other. What do you enjoy the most getting your hands on and cooking?
My favorite dish to make, I don't know if I have a favorite dish, but like you said, something that just makes me happy to make I love to make a steak. I just fucking love it. My roommate had recently moved in maybe like a couple of months ago. And I told her, I was like, I'm really sorry that I keep making steak for dinner every day. I just have a bunch of steaks in there. And she's like, never apologize for making me steak. So it's just easy. And I really like to do it and play with different sauces I go with it. But also if I'm getting home from work and it's like 2 a.m, I always make pasta, and I make cacio e pepe, which is like lemon and pepper and cheese and pasta. And that's all I need. I'm happy.
So no meat in that, just lemon, pepper, cheese.
That's it. No meat at all. And you're using like the starchy pasta water and it makes its own sauce. Sometimes I throw some tomatoes in there, if I'm working with some cherry tomatoes.
Okay.
And now what cut of meat do you typically do with the steak that you prepare? Is it
New
York strip, ribeye? Ribeye.
Yes, ribeye all the way. Sometimes I'll do a New York strip if I'm walking by and they're on sale and I'm like, all right, Mary, come on, New York strip. But I love a ribeye.
Bone in ribeye, or are you going bone off?
I'll go bone off unless, like I said, I see it on sale and I'm like, grab it. It's meant for you.
Love it. That's that honest answer right there. Yeah, because I feel like with steak, I always get intimidated sometimes. I always feel like, okay, I'm going to pay the top dollar for the best cut, but sometimes it doesn't always pay off. But it also depends on how it's prepared. So I'm going to ask you this too. What do you feel is the best way to prepare it? Grill, cast iron, stainless steel? What's the best way to cook this thing?
For me personally, I love a cast iron. And like I have two. I have one that has like the little grill marks on it, which it's cute. I like to use it for vegetables and shit. But when I'm making my steak, I will get a really hard sear on like the cap at the edge, and then after that, I just lay that bad boy down. And then once I flip it back over and it has like that crust on it, then I'm basting it after that. And I'll definitely like lean in. I'm like, shh. I'm like, oh baby, don't talk to me. We're not ready.
Oh my gosh.
That makes me want steak right now.
And that's why anybody that's listening needs to check out the YouTube channel, because this is the kind of stuff that happens on there, man. You're making it happen. You're cooking some delicious dishes, Kevin and I are over here cheesing. I'm salivating in my mouth right now. This is what it's about.
I love talking food.
I like to have a good time. I think I'm just myself. And I think that just catches people off guard. And I'm like, no, this is just me all the time. Why hide it?
Why hide it?
No, and you shouldn't.
Yeah. Why hide it? Exactly. That's the best way to subscribe it. It's be real, be you, put it out there, and you're doing some cool stuff. I really, I'm excited to see the next installment of the Geeks and Grubs.
Oh, our next is going to be the Emperor's New Groove. I thought it was hilarious. I was like, this is fucking funny.
Yeah, you can't take yourself too seriously all the time, but kind of going back to the theme of what we were just talking about, being yourself, and being yourself committed, like you're committed to being yourself regardless of what people think. It doesn't matter what people think. And that was one of the things that I've been listening to a lot of motivational videos, and that was one thing that was kind of catching me, and I was taking that breath in and feeling that energy of, why do you want to conform? Why do you want to be like everybody else? Why do everything everybody else is doing? And the thing is that society kind of has this pressure to where, oh, I'm weird. Like, I don't do it like everybody else does it. So like, I'm breaking the norm. I'm breaking the norm for being how I'm being. But, no, I don't want to be normal. And it's good to like, be outlandish in whatever way you want, or just be true to yourself, because once you start like judging yourself on how other people see you, then that's like a horrible way to live and a horrible way to judge yourself. So you judge yourself from within, and you allow yourself to be free and actually express yourself how you feel is deemed fit. And I'll tell you, like, when you're able to accomplish that and really start living the life that is meant for you, that you want to live, like, there's this freedom there that money can't hold down, that a bad day can't hold down, because like you're true to yourself to a certain extent, where it's like there's a bit of bliss in being off kilter. There's a bit of bliss in not being like everybody else. I don't know. And everybody's unique in their own way, so I'm not going to take that from anybody, but just go out on a limb and do something different and not judge yourself for it. Like, doing the whole Scooby-Doo thing, like it's fun, it's quirky, like people aren't doing that, and you probably had a blast doing it. So it's like, that's the thing, is like you're going to do things different, and that's how it should be done.
I like that. Thank you. Yeah, I do what makes me happy. And at the end of the day, isn't that all that really matters? I felt like every time I tried to be what I thought other people wanted me to be, I either wasn't happy or I would just fail. And then once I started doing what I wanted to do and just being myself, I got a lot of positive feedback. They're like, that's different. That's cool, Mary. And I'm like, it is fucking cool.
It does. And it carries so much weight, when it's difficult to look at it that way sometimes, but to really analyze what truly makes you happy. Because we all been put in that position before, where it's like, okay, this is what people expect of me. I need to do this. Here's the advice. You need to try that. But what really matters is what makes you happy. And I think you answered one of the questions we like to ask our guests on this program is, what is one piece of advice you would give humanity? And you can add to this as well, but it seems like you just touched on it there. It's just do what makes you happy. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. So if you could tell the whole world, if you give the world a piece of advice to help humanity grow and become better tomorrow, what would that single piece of advice be?
The advice that I would give, I guess, is the advice that I take for myself, is to just continuously be yourself and not worry about anyone else. Anytime you're always worried about what other people are doing, that's when you start to judge yourself and not feel like you're not doing well enough. But when you just mind your business and focus on you and what it is that you want and what makes you happy, you always succeed.
That's true. That's true. And to kind of tie into that, like, I feel like I've been guilty of this. I've mentioned it in the past, but sometimes, like, I have these ambitions and I talk about them to full detail with people. Like, I'm like, oh man, I got this ambition to do this. I got this ambition to do that, and it really never gets done, like, all the time. And I'll be transparent about that. Like, a lot of times I drop my own ball, but if you could just, figure out what you want to do and stick to that, and don't even tell anybody, just show them with getting through it, like, you show them by demonstrating. And that's one area where I've wanted to improve is, not talk about my goals and just complete my goals and take them off weekly and just be ferocious about it, but not tell anybody. Because that's the thing is when you're in that mentality of like, I'm doing this for me, like, who cares what anybody thinks? Like, that's the main thing about that is if I'm sharing my goals all the time and talking about it, then I'm not really in it. But if I'm really in it and I'm just grinding and I'm doing it, then people will just see. So that's one area where I feel like, you really got to you got to go all in. And you don't need to make the fluff and make, all these different impressions, because you're going to walk it and people will see the walk. That gets me hyped up. That gets me a little hyped up in the morning. Sometimes I'm like, how much am I going to talk about it today? Or am I actually going to do this?
Yes. I love that.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah. We like to keep it motivational here. We like to keep it fresh. Like all the ingredients Mary Lou uses. A little tongue twister.
Tongue twister there. All them fresh ingredients Mary Lou uses. That is a tongue twister.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's been it's been fun, Mary Lou. Thanks for sitting down with us. I'll say this before we close. Tell our listeners, our viewers, where the hell can they go to find you, subscribe to you, what's going on?
All right, everybody, you can follow me on YouTube under Geeks and Grubs. You can go to my website, geeksandgrubs.com, and then I'm on Instagram under Chef Mary Lou Davis. That's it.
Awesome. Quick, decisive, and to the point.
Direct, decisive, and to the point. Keeps it simple. It'll always sell. Mary Lou, this is it's always fun sitting down with chefs and picking different people's minds. And you got good energy. And I'll tell you this, I love Texas. I feel like I'm going to be there probably in the next 3 to 4 years. I feel like.
All
Texas
right,
is a
come on
cool
down.
place.
We're all
coming.
ready and willing.
I'm coming. Good people down there. You guys are very welcoming. And, here at Discussion Combustion, we like to have repeat guests. So, maybe the next 6 to 8, 12 months, we'll have you back on, see what's going on. Check
I'd love
back in with
that.
you. And if you ever find yourself, and if you're ever in Denver, Colorado,
you need to
we'll get
come
you
in
studio.
Yeah, you need to come in studio if you're in Denver because, this is great. We love the Zoom, but there's a different energy when you're sitting across the room from us and we're cracking some cold ones together and having a great time. And we would love to experience that with you for sure.
I'd love that. Yeah.
Yeah, so keep that in mind if you ever pass your way through the 5280. In the meantime, man, another great podcast. Thanks, Mary Lou, for joining us. I like to say around here, be good to yourself.
You deserve it.
Thank you.